Did I get fucking scammed? I did, didn't I?
Now, if you're here, you're probably familiar with the AK-47 family of rifles. Some of you might be less familiar with the PPSH-41. It was a Russian-made submachine gun from World War II, and it is one of the most iconic pieces of Soviet weaponry on the planet. And it's really fun. I'm like dropping your mic. But what if somebody was to come along at some point and blend the two together? An AK PPSH hybrid. Well, I think two things. One, I think it would be cursed as hell. Two, I think I have one. This, you've probably seen on the internet if you're into cursed guns. This was an AK that somebody decided needed a lot more PPSH, and we ended up with this. This gun is kind of internet famous. It's been around for a while. I finally got my hands on one after years of looking around. Because much like the guns, I am cursed. You have to deal with cursed guns for the rest of my career, I guess. Anyway, let's shoot it. Directly into my fucking thumb. I haven't tried bump fire in fucking years. Ow, ow! You fucking white ass in the open gas block map, motherfucker. If you're holding this like a normal fucking human, your thumb is like, or your, like the meat of your thumb is like right next to the hottest fucking part of the gun. Which conveniently 5 rounds total today. You know it's awesome when you don't even make it past a fucking montage before I start bitching about it. Jeez. So before anybody asks, I didn't build this. This was built a long time ago. Best running theory is whoever was building these just had a bunch of AK kits laying around and a bunch of front shrouds. And I don't know if they ran out of fucking handguards or what, but they just decided it would be really cool to combine the two. Your peanut butter, my jelly, that sort of thing. Except instead of making a delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's just liquid dog shit. But this isn't even just a handguard. They actually had to do so much adjustment on this. I mean, a lot of this is just flat out custom. So right where the receiver would normally meet the handguard on a normal AK, the shroud meets actually pretty well there. You can definitely see like where the gap is. That's the front of the AK receiver, and this is where the shroud of the PPSH 41 starts. You got this like ovular, fucking heat shield. And for this next part, they actually moved the gas system way back. This is a teeny tiny, like this is a mini Draco gas system length right now, for seemingly no reason. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want the operator to burn their hand more. You can
Hey!
even see a little bit. It will not show up on camera.
Who did
'cause it's
that?
so minute, but like you can see where they welded.
Hey,
up the
it's
original gas
AK.
application. So the gas block used to be here, and they moved it all the way back here. Like that's dramatic. And one of the
No,
reasons
I don't want to buy anything though.
like that's dramatic. And one of the
No,
reasons
I don't want to buy anything though.
I want to say violently, but it's not really that violent. It's weird. I think it's what causes this to flip up as dramatically as it does. But wait, there's more. For seemingly no fucking reason at all, they pressed on the front sight block backwards. Normally the slant here on the front sight block is on the back side, and the flush part is forward. Not this time. Don't know why. I'm looking at it now. They didn't even pin that. Okay. Well, I guess you don't need to, because they welded the front of it. Because they didn't even put it backwards so it would fit better, because it doesn't. They just cut out a piece of the shroud and welded it there anyway, because I don't know. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh my god, I just...
Bunker raids, tank attacks, great defense, and bombardment. Watch until the end for the latest situation. Tank of the 64th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine repulsed the Russian attack. Russian infantrymen spotted in the area quickly take shelter in a building for protection. But the 68th Mechanized Brigade blocked the entrances and exits with an FPV drone, and fires repeatedly at the building where the Russian infantry took refuge, neutralizing the enemy. After the repulsion of Russian attacks in the Kursk region by the soldiers of the 61st Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, drone troops went after the only remaining soldier. Russian infantryman spots a Ukrainian drone coming towards him and immediately decides to hide in the hay. The FPV drone pilot, knowing where the target is, goes straight for it and explodes in the haystacks. The Russian soldier was unharmed as the straw significantly blocked the impact of the explosion. The surviving soldier decided to flee the area and hide in the trees in case of another attack. This time, the soldier lying in the bushes could not escape and was neutralized. 4 Russian armored personnel carriers entering Toretsk positions were detected by Ukrainian 12th Special Forces Brigade spotter drone pilots, and their location was transmitted to FPV drone pilots. The armored vehicle, which is moving rapidly in the front row, is shot down by Ukrainian FPV drones after a while. Vehicle was unaffected by the explosion and continued on its way, but soon a second drone attack took place. The vehicle was not seriously damaged by the second explosion, but knowing that it could not withstand the next attack, the crew decided to abandon the smoking armored vehicle and flee on foot. One of the infantrymen ran to catch up with the other vehicle, but the vehicle continued on its way without stopping in case of an attack. Of the 3 armored vehicles that continued to advance in the position, the The vehicle in the front row was targeted by Azov artillery. The heavily damaged vehicle could not move any further, and a few of the crew escaped unharmed. After a while, an explosion occurred in the damaged vehicle and it became completely unusable. A Russian infantryman, positioned next to the damaged vehicle, opens defensive fire against Ukrainian soldiers, advancing and taking up a position lying down in the bushes. The soldier tries to defend himself, but is soon overpowered by Ukrainian drones. The armored vehicle and its crew, which were completely disabled, were destroyed by FPV drones. The two remaining armored personnel carriers continued to be hit by FPV drones and artillery shells. The crew of the stopped armored vehicle quickly ran to the ruins to defend against the next attack, abandoning the vehicle. Azov troops destroyed the abandoned vehicle with an FPV drone to prevent it from being used again. Russian infantry hiding in the ruins are then attacked by the Azov brigade with FPV drones and artillery fire. Having survived the explosions, the two soldiers continue to advance, but they have been spotted by surveillance drones, and a high explosive drone is heading towards them. On the Zaporizhzhia front, aerial reconnaissance of the 8th Border Guard Detachment spotted Russian forces moving around. The artillery units receiving the coordinates hit the building where the Russian forces were located. The bunker where the Russian forces were hiding was also targeted by artillery units, and the enemy was neutralized. As reported by the Khortytsia force group, the ground control station attacked the control center of an Orlan Russian drone detected by scouts of the 14th UAV Regiment. The Orlan drone was spotted in flight by scouts. The location of the control center was then quickly reported to the artillery. The targeted center was soon destroyed. A tank of the 24th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces destroyed a Russian BMD in Chasiv with a direct hit. The Russian BMD tank on the right, clashing with a Ukrainian tank, is shot and stopped by a Ukrainian infantryman waiting for the right moment with a rocket launcher behind him. The crew of the hit tank abandoned the tank and fled to the other BMD. After the crew boarded the tank, as the BMD was about to move, it was hit by the targeting Ukrainian tank. But the tank was not badly damaged and kept moving forward. Before the Russian BMD can get very far, the Ukrainian tank gets very close and destroys the BMD with a direct hit. And then continued to fire heavily at the Russian infantry as they ran around. A tank is not only an extremely powerful weapon, it is a key weapon that, if used correctly, can completely change the course of a war in a given area. The 24th Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Fighters of the Beslovny unit of the 60th Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine carried out an attack on Russian positions. 4 Ukrainian infantrymen raid bunkers where Russian soldiers are hiding. As 3 infantrymen look around, one approaches the entrance to the bunker and throws a grenade inside. Either the first bomb exploded in the depths or a flash bomb was dropped as a distraction. After a while, the soldier throws a second grenade. This time it explodes violently. After the explosion, 3 undamaged Russian infantrymen came out of the bunker, stunned, and were captured and taken hostage by Ukrainian infantrymen. Three of the infantrymen advanced to the site of a different bunker. Ukrainian soldiers lying at the entrance to the bunker repeatedly detonate and destroy the bunker. Returning infantrymen spot Russian infantry lying in the bushes on the road, open fire and neutralize them.
Damn.
The detected Grad MLRS was destroyed by Kamara attack drone operators. The Grad MLRS vehicle, which was accompanied by 2 Russian infantrymen, was targeted and destroyed by a kamikaze drone carrying high explosives. A Russian infantryman was spotted by Black Raven pilots in the Pokrovsky area. In a panic, the soldier moves through the ruins and quickly takes shelter in a hut. Pilots locate the enemy and attack the target with FPV drone.
We witness new events every day in the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Many incidents in the region affect and also frighten us. With each passing day, the motivation of the Russian soldiers in the region, who are increasingly facing defeat, continues to decline. Stay tuned as we try to report on the hot conflicts that have been occurring in the region recently. One of the areas we hear about most often in the Russia-Ukraine war is the Donetsk region, where fighting continues. In the Vozvyzhenka area, we encounter a 3-vehicle convoy of Russian troops. The first vehicle is a tank, followed by a personnel carrier, and at the end of the convoy, there is a BMP-2 armored vehicle. As this convoy moves toward the area, it reaches an intersection when Ukrainian forces launch an attack. In the footage, we can see explosions happening in different areas, which are caused by Ukrainian artillery fire. After the tank is struck, it is rendered completely useless, surrounded by smoke and fire. From the smoke, it's difficult to tell if the other vehicles sustained damage. However, the Ukrainian forces use FPV drones to destroy the remaining vehicles, rendering them completely incapacitated. With their vehicles destroyed, the Russian infantry disembark and flee into the nearby forest. As a result, Ukrainian forces have secured the area and restored order in the Vozvyzhenka region. In the following footage, we witness a more intense and close-quarter confrontation. In a war-torn area, a battle breaks out between Ukrainian and Russian forces. One Ukrainian soldier briefly emerges from behind cover and scans the surroundings. However, at that moment, Russian gunfire erupts and the Ukrainian soldier retreats hastily. In the initial shock of the moment, it's unclear whether he was hit. According to reports, he was shot multiple times in the helmet, and upon closer inspection, we can also see that his camera mounted on his chest was damaged. After a brief shock, the Ukrainian soldier recovers and immediately throws a grenade. The exchange of fire continues as both sides engage. This scene serves as a reminder that in combat, you can never predict where the next bullet will come from or in what form. Additionally, try to imagine the feeling and excitement of being in such an environment. You hear gunshots and feel a blow to the back of your head, thinking you've been shot. This is a terrifying example of the fear of being struck in the head. As the war intensifies in Donetsk, let's turn to an event that took place in Toretsk. Russian troops have taken cover.
Dude, this
After
is
receiving
crazy.
Intelligence, Ukrainian forces approach the house and place
Good night,
explosives
Goku.
inside. And one of the Russian soldiers tries to escape by jumping
Probably
out
should
of
have
the
watched
window.
this.
Noticing this, a Ukrainian soldier immediately chases him. In the war-torn landscape, the Russian soldier